first video.
It's like that thing. Studio thing.
Guys, welcome back. It's our first video back on YouTube after the weekend that we had. Obviously Sunday Wembley Cup was an amazing experience, and this week we've just been recollecting our thoughts about the whole day and what an experience it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was massive high, amazing experience for us, obviously first time playing at Wembley. So with this video we're gonna kind of use it as talking through our thoughts, our feelings of what's happened, how it happened, and some behind the scenes kind of insights, I would say, from the day and from around the Wembley Cup.
Okay, so this is going to be actually a two-part video series. So the first video is today's video, which we're going to cover, which will be the build-up to the Wembley Cup. So the whole day, from the morning, from the arrival, the meeting time for Red Bull FC, from getting on the bus, going to Wembley, and the whole experience right up until the #United game.
Yeah, so we're going to include the #United game in this video, and then the second video will be the F2 game, obviously the final, spoiler alert if any of you didn't know, and then kind of the aftermath of Wembley Cup and what's happened since then. We want to lead off by saying thanks for all of the support, whether you supported ourselves, whether you supported one of us, or whether you supported Rebel as a whole. I mean, the support was incredible. We didn't have as many fans as, say, # or other teams, but we definitely felt it there, and we're really thankful for everyone that did show any kind of support.
Yeah, as Jesse said, we both got some really nice messages on Instagram, a lot of direct messages that we tried to respond to, each and every one of you. We really appreciate the support. And to Unified Football, our YouTube channel, so thank you for that.
Okay, so let's jump straight into what happened at the beginning of the day. Obviously, Red Bull FC, sponsored by Under Armour. Incredible partnership, and they have been kitting us out like you would not believe, and obviously this was no different. So the first thing that happened on the day, we actually met at 9:30 in the morning, so over, what, 4.5 hours before kickoff in London to meet Under Armour in a hotel room. Sounds a bit dodgy, but it wasn't. What did we get?
We got, obviously, a brand new tracksuit that we had to wear for the game, new trainers, but also we got Under Armour headphones if we want to listen to music on the coach and walk off the bus looking fresh. What didn't we get?
Yeah, literally got completely kitted out, so we have to thank Under Armour again. They've been incredible for the lead up. I mean, if you haven't seen it, we even got to train with Xhaka.
Well done, yeah.
Thank you.
Well
and
done.
the week before we went to Southampton for an amazing trip. I mean, Under Armour have been incredible, and obviously put together the partnership with Rebel is ridiculous.
And which ultimately helped us prepare for the whole Wembley Cup, the whole day, so really big thank you to Under Armour. So after Under Armour kitted us out, we then had to go to another hotel where we had to meet as a team, but also #United had to meet there too. So we had two teams, we were playing against each other, had to meet at the same hotel for a briefing of how the day was going to go at Wembley, what to expect, and the whole rundown of the day. And then also we had our pre-match brunch because it was around 11:30.
The feeling was there was a lot of obviously nervous energy. You got the two teams that are playing each other in the same room, getting briefed on the same day, and they're talking about what happens if you go through to the final, and it was just a bit awkward.
Yes, in an ideal situation, you want to turn up to the pitch that you're playing on maybe an hour and a half before a game. You have a nice team talk, you get changed and go out to warm up. But as you've seen, we've met really early in the morning, and as Jesse said, a lot of energy you could have used up, and 4 hours before a game, a lot of time to think and get in your own head about what's going to happen. And as Jesse said, if you win your first game, you have a different pathway to the team that loses. So a lot of information to take in, but all we want to do is just play the game.
Yeah. So once that was done, once we got briefed on what was going on, we got on a coach, and the strange thing about this was that, again, us and # were both on the same coach going to Wembley. So again, a kind of weird vibe. We were on the back of the bus, all the Rebel players, and then # were on the front. Again, very strange, a new concept, something that I've never experienced before.
So when we arrived at Wembley, Rebel FC were given the Tottenham Hotspur change room because, as you may well know, Spurs share a ground with England, but they both have different changing rooms. So Spurs and England don't share the same changing room, so we got given the Spurs changing room, and all our shirts are hanging up nicely, you know, our warm-up kit to our match shirt. Just felt so professional, everyone was buzzing, and then obviously we got the music on, get the blood pumping through the body. It was just a great feeling in general.
Started to feel like a match day when you're in the changing room, starting to get changed, music's going, and you know you're about to go and step out on the pitch. And I guess the biggest difference with this, and like we were saying before, you had to adapt to the day, is that we were only given 20 minutes to warm up. And 10 minutes of that was on the AstroTurf, little line on the outside to protect the pitch, and then 10 minutes on the pitch. Usually we go out, what, 45 minutes before kickoff, latest? So this was another change, but something we just had to adapt to and deal with.
Yeah, it was a very short warm-up, but it was the same for both teams, so obviously it was fair that way. You know, hashtag only got 20 minutes to warm up, exactly the same.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the first game, which was obviously Rebel FC against hashtag, our first game, the first semi-final of the day. The last time we played them, we lost 3-0 in the preliminary rounds.
Yeah, obviously it's been a dream come true to play at Wembley, so we're all very excited just to get on the pitch. We had obviously a legend, Michael Essien, in our team, so it's a big one for me personally because he's a midfield player and I got to play in central midfield with Michael Essien, and when I was growing up watching the Premier League, he was iconic for Chelsea, scored an unbelievable goal against Arsenal. Getting to play with a legend was just unbelievable experience. Really humble guy too, could ask him anything in the changing room and he'd give you an answer. And then we also had YouTuber on our team, Joe Weller, known for his boxing match against KSI. Really good lad to have in the change room, lots of energy, good banter. Didn't really know what his football skills were like, not really seen him play before other than a couple of Wembley Cup highlights with Jamie Carragher, but yeah, so it was really good to have him on side, and the whole atmosphere throughout the team was really good in the build up to the game.
8 to the field, Jimmy, for the opening game, 2018 Wembley Cup.
So the game started, a very scrappy start to say the least really. Hashtag play a long ball forward and we don't really deal with it very well. We head it out for a throw-in, put us on the back foot immediately. From the throw-in, we then give away a foul, so it allows hashtag to put the ball in the box again on the back foot right from the start, so not the best start for Rebel FC.
We knew it was going to be scrappy for a couple of reasons, because we were going to sit in a little more and try and hit them on the counter using my pace, and they were going to go long. That's how they play. They knock balls into the box, not always with the best quality, so we knew it was going to be a scrappy start and a slow start to the game. But the first real time that I got the ball, I was in the corner where all the crowd are, which is perfect. I've skipped past, I think Marcus Stamp, his name is, the big centre-back. Spencer's come over to try and support. I've knocked it past him, and then as I'm going down the byline, I've seen that Sam's steaming in, so I've just tried to find him. I've knocked it back into that area, probably edge of the 6-yard box. You're absolutely sprinting as quick as you can, and then what happens?
I just made up a lot of ground. I knew that you was on the byline, needed some support, got in there, the ball falls to me, and teammate Callum Jose, just to my right, kind of gets in my way and puts me off. He's right in my eye line, and I just couldn't get the contact I needed. But again, it was the first real chance, didn't really make the most of it, but I knew as the game goes on that we would get chances, maybe just in those positions, beating players that needed support from midfield, which was what we planned to do.
The next chance we got actually ended up obviously being the goal. We started with Cal Freezy, we had a throw in, he's gone long. They've won it back to the centre-backs, played it to the full-back, who's played in the Championship, got a lot of experience, and Cal's pressed him well.
Yeah.
He's tried to play right foot on the halfway line, all the way back to goal, and you can see my movement. I'm already anticipating it, and he plays it, and by the time he plays it, I'm already on my bike, and I'm through, and
the pace.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought I'd be clean through. As soon as I won it, that's the first thing that went through my mind. I thought I was clean through. The centre-back, Marcus Stamper, we mentioned before, he actually does really well to get back and pulls, gets not a tug, but like good defending,
pushes you out a little bit.
Pushes me wide of the frame of the goal, chop back inside, he goes sliding to block it, keeper goes down as well. and knock it into the goal, and then emotions took over. I was thinking about celebrations before, had people asking me like, oh, you should do this celebration, do that, and I wasn't even thinking. I was like, you can see in the video, like I'm screaming to him and just go off,
like, pure elation.
Yeah, exactly.
So hashtag not really threatening, but however, we knew that from set pieces, corners, free kicks, that they would cause a threat, and they get a free kick on the wide left area. Robert Pires, Arsenal legend, again another legend on the pitch. A personal highlight again, me being an Arsenal fan, watched him playing, you know, Thierry Henry, Pires, Bergkamp, Lundberg. It was a mad time for being an Arsenal fan. So Pires must have bullied someone out of the way to take the free kick, got given the nod to take it, puts in a really good ball on the 6-yard box, causes absolute carnage. Ryan Adams for hashtag United, probably expect him to score. He's a good goal scorer in their league.
He scored at Wembley before.
He scored at Wembley before, so really experienced player. Had a good youth career growing up, and he just misses his header. He heads it wide.
Far post.
Not sure if he watching it back, he might be as critical as we are, but I think maybe he should do better.
So this next chance is very similar to the chance for us that we were talking about before, where I cut it back to Sam, and I really like to operate off the left wing because I can make it look like I'm crossing on my right foot and then go down the byline, and I did basically exactly the same thing here. And thanks to STR Skill School, he got a great angle of this, which we're going to use for this footage here. I think it's Marcus Stamp again. Yeah, no. I think so. I think I chop him and go down the line. Spencer blocks the byline to prevent what happened in the previous chance. And I see Sam again. This time he's not steaming in, he's holding his position on the edge of the box. And I cut it back to him. And then what happens with the strike?
I mean, I can be critical. The touch for me in an ideal world would be slightly more out of my foot so I can hit straight through the ball. Go slightly to the side, so really in hindsight, beautiful thing. Should try and wrap your foot around it more, especially with the ball on the outside. But yeah, thrashed at the chance.
For me, I've been watching too much basketball, maybe watching KD and Steph for the Golden State Warriors when they pass to each other and start celebrating before they make a shot. Because I pass into him and you can see as he's taking his touch, I'm already running off celebrating. So I think wishful thinking, but it would have, if that had gone in, it would have been an incredible moment. But again, not to be.
Next half chance comes from Michael Essien, getting the ball turning, looking forward. Callum Jose making a run on the right hand side, he slips him in. Callum does really well, shows good pace, slows the ball down, gets his head up, and you've made a run, right? You went out to the left initially, now you're making a run into the box. Didn't really, nothing really come of it.
No, I just think, so Callum does really well initially. I just think this is all in an ideal world, of course. But yeah, Cal ideally could have played a little bit earlier, slipped me in so that it's in behind the back line, but he kind of just whips it in, and Marcus Stamp has already recovered there, and he kind of plays, and then the chance goes. But I mean, what you can see so far is that we've had the lion's share of the chances.
We have, and we've set up, as you said, we set up to defend the long ball, and then to feed off the scraps, and then play forward and counter, which is where most of the chances have come from. Obviously, Jesse's skills in the corner come from like throw-ins and just great individual skill, but especially with the Cal chance just there, it was a good counter attack, good pace in wide areas, and just didn't quite get the delivery right.
And then the last chance before half time, another very similar to the previous chance where Ryan Adams stuck the header wide. Perez had another free kick on the left side in a great area, and format carries on with the format of the game. We defend it well, and it falls to them on the edge of the box, and luckily for us the ref blows for half time, and we're going in 1-0 up.
So half time comes around, really positive actually from the coach, stuck to the game plan really well. The tactics were spot on. We knew they were going to play long, so we were wary of that, and we knew that the pace on the counter was what was going to cause them a threat at the other end. So more of the same was pretty much the goal for the half-time team talk.
So very similar to the first half. The game started very scrappy, kind of slow. I think people were getting a bit heavy in the legs, and they were obviously getting more of the ball and going forward more, and we were sitting in a little more. So we kind of invited the pressure, but there weren't many clear-cut chances. I mean, the first big moment of the second half that I thought anyway was Chris MD picked up the ball, didn't really have a look over his shoulder. He's going down like across the pitch, and Sam just comes in like straight through, wins the ball, And I mean, that's quite a personal moment for you, but for both of us, having watched Chris and being a fan.
Nothing personal at all, you know, the tackle was there to be made. Unfortunately, it was Chris MD. I hope he didn't get hurt. I didn't really think about it at the time, you know, to get up, shake his hand. I was just so focused on my job, done the tackle, got up to my feet, where should I go next? But yeah, personal highlight, Chris is one of the best YouTubers out there in the terms of the football in England, so nothing personal at all. Again, another hashtag chance comes from another free kick, so they're doing exactly what they do best, putting balls in the box. We knew that was going to happen, and that's where they were going to get chances. Tom Williams, a left back, swings a ball in, lot of spin on it, a lot of height, causes the keeper a problem. Kalen gets slightly stuck underneath the ball, would you say?
Yeah.
And Dan Brown, hashtag legend, scores up, what is their top goal scorer?
I think so, yeah.
Misses a header.
Decent chance. Not a sure one to score, but again, it's just, in this game, it's half chances. You're not going to get an open goal, I don't think. So for him, they'd expect him to score it and we'd hope him to miss, and again we got lucky that he missed the chance at the far post. So this next highlight is another chance for us and gives me a chance to sort of cover something that I've wanted to address a little bit anyway. So Kalen goes long on the goal kick, straight down the middle. I've kind of lent into their centre back. He misjudges the header and I get it to my feet and I'm driving at the back line now. And I wriggle past one and then chop past him, send him to the floor. Jack Harrison, who's a really nice guy, send him to the floor with a chop, and then I tried to chop it on my left foot, and then as the defender comes in, I've tried to play to Dylan out wide, who's in acres of space, and I just haven't got it out on my feet quick enough and haven't played the pass quick enough. And I think I've got a lot of praise from people for my performances in both games, but especially in this game due to the goal as well. But for me, looking at the highlights, there are so many things that I could have done better or could have done differently. And yeah, great that I scored the goal, but at the same time, like once I did that right foot chop here, if I play wide, I think there's someone open on the left, or if I play to Dylan a bit quicker, we go 2-0 up. So from a personal point of view, yes, great to score at Wembley, I've always wanted to, but I could have done things better and could have done things slightly differently to help the team a little more. So yeah, and I think we both do that. We both look at ways we can improve our game and ways we can get better, and you don't do that by just thinking, yeah, I played the perfect performance, which I know I didn't. I know I could have done things better. So this next clip isn't a highlight, and I think that kind of sums up Sam's game in a nutshell. Like, a lot of what he does playing defensive midfield is screening, stopping them playing, and then when he gets the ball, playing simply and just working hard, kind of a workhorse for the team. And he doesn't get a lot of credit, but this clip shows perfectly. I mean, they're trying to break through lines and you're just screening in between and read the pass perfectly.
Yeah, well, as a CDM, a central defensive midfielder, you're 1-0 up, your job is to prevent them from scoring and playing forward balls into the strikers, which is where hashtag get creative. If they can get balls into strikers and they can play in and around the box and get the ball wide, they are a threat. So I knew that as a central midfielder, you got to be checking your shoulders, being aware of what's around you, what's behind you. So if players in front of midfielders are trying to feed balls through the middle and trying to break lines, good defensive midfielders recognise where the striker is and screen really well. So that was one of my priorities going into the second half, just to screen and prevent balls into the front men. And that's exactly what I did here, just screened it, and then we win the ball back for the team.
And then the final chance in the game actually fell to us. It was about 27 minutes, so only 3 minutes left on the clock.
And probably the best bit of play of the game.
Yeah, exactly. We work it into a wide area into me, I bounce it back into Sam, who plays forward into Callum, I think it is. Callum plays wide to Dante. Dante plays back into Sam, takes, I think, one touch on his right foot and levers it with his left. Really good strike, forces a save from the keeper, but I mean, what would you, in hindsight again, what would you do differently?
Yeah, being critical of myself, and as you were earlier, just if you pause it on the edge of the box, and like in hindsight, this is why, you know, watching it back, you can analyse your performance and get better. Either side, I got 2 players to the right and another one to the left, and we're essentially like a 4 versus 2 at the back. So I've just ran from the halfway line. I've broke my back to get forward. So the ball comes back to me. I take a touch. It just sets up so nice. And back myself on my weak foot, left foot, get a good strike away, but straight at the goalkeeper. And you know, obviously I wanted to score as well.
And that was it. That was the final chance. Obviously they had a couple more balls into the box but didn't cause any problems, and we ran away 1-0 winners. I'd say deservedly. I'd say we had the lion's share of the chances, the better chances, the better play overall, but it was two contrasting styles. We were playing more counter-attacking football, using our pace and getting forward, and they were putting balls into the box, trying to cause problems with their height and their power, trying to win set pieces and other things like that.
And it was a 30-minute game. So satisfied that reaching the final. Obviously, hashtag beat us in the preliminary round, and it's something that we've been working on as a team for the last 3 months almost. So just for us to go out onto the pitch and do the job, it was just a bit of a relief, we could say.
And then one other highlight, one of the teams we coached, Cheshunt under 12, they brought a whole busload of the kids that we coached down, and I managed to spot them after the game, and I actually looked for Sam but I couldn't see him, so I just ran over and said hello. And great moment, there's video of them all going crazy, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, we went back into the changing room to prepare for the final game.
Versus F2 FC. You have to walk past the trophy that one of them is going to be holding on the field after the game is over.
A few hours ago, who would have said this would have been the final?
I wouldn't have guessed it. I thought hashtag was a shoo-in to make the final. They have so much history here, so much success.